Do you want to play a game? My name is John Kramer. I'm not doing the Jigsaw voice properly. Shit.
Oh well. What's poppin', yo? Welcome back to another YouTube video. Today we're taking a look at Saw the Final Chapter, or Saw 3D depending on who you ask, or who you talk to. Personally, I did not watch this in 3D, so this is just Saw the Final Chapter to me. And you could watch it in 3D if you really wanted to. You could put it on, like, your TV, get some 3D glasses, watch it. And it did say Saw 3D when I was watching it, but when I was watching it not in 3D, like, I didn't see what parts of the movie they could have really done in 3D. I was quite confused just looking at it being like, where would the 3D sections be here? Because nothing's really jumping out towards the screen. So I was a little confused, but again, I did not watch it in 3D, so this is just the final chapter to me. So other than that, let's hop, skip, and jump over to what Google has to say to see how good this movie is. So this came out in 2010. It's a horror crime, which is 1 hour and a half, has a 9% on Rotten Tomatoes. That fucking sucks, dog. Again, continuing the trend of the downward spiral of how shit these movies are. And then we have a 4.6 out of 5 on Amazon and a 5.5 out of 10 on IMDb. You can watch this on Amazon, Google Play, YouTube, and Sky Store.
A detective runs after Mark Hoffman, whereas Jill Tuck, the widow of Jigsaw, attempts to murder him. Hoffman escapes, and Jill offers Gibson to sign an advocate of crimes committed by Hoffman.
So that is literally the police officer's storyline. They put Jill in a a cell to keep her safe so that Hoffman can't get her, in like a safe house. And then they run around trying to solve these jigsaw mysteries that are going on right now as Jill is hiding. And there is a couple that go off. There is a group in a abandoned car park, which is the main one for the detectives to go and explore. We then have another one which isn't too interesting. It's just two guys fighting over a girl being put on public display, which I think is wild. But then the last one is like the main one, which is the law firm. No. The law firm was the last one. This one was the someone who was faking to have been in like a jigsaw trap, and then he was actually put in a jigsaw trap with all of his friends who were lying on TV, which I think is wild. Like, bro was just doing this for the money, and now he's in it. Now he's shitting himself. Now he's bricking himself. Now he is honestly not sure if he's gonna make it out alive. So we see him travel through room to room, trying to save each one of his friends, following the same sort of plot points and the same sort of plot schemes that we saw from the last movie with the law firm. And I'm going to be honest, it did feel a little repetitive, a little similar, because again, he went into each room, he tried to save them, and he failed every time, which made him really sad and upset. But this time around, he wasn't blaming himself, he was blaming them. He was completely blaming them, being like, why couldn't you just be quiet? Why couldn't you have just listened? Why couldn't you have just done this, that, and the other? And it's like, dog, none of that is their fault. Like, if you have a fish hook being dragged up your esophagus, that's a big word for me, by the way, your throat pipe, your windpipe, you know, if you're having like a fish hook being dragged, scraped up there, you are gonna scream in agony, you are gonna yell. So I don't fucking get why he's like, why can't you just be quiet? I know, like, your life is in the line, but fuck me, that's gonna hurt. And you saw how much blood was coming out of her mouth as well, dog. Like, you know she was not okay. You know she was not, like, having the best of time in this situation. And then she got impaled in the neck. He then had to guide a blind person across, like, a load of beams. Otherwise he would fall and get hung. Fortunately, he decided to throw the key towards him. Don't fucking know why he did that, because no way he's gonna catch it if he's fucking blind. Of course he's gonna fumble. I knew that straight off the fucking get-go. As soon as he let go of that key, like, that was it, they were done. He was fucking done. There's no way you're gonna fucking catch something when you're blind and you can't fucking see it. It's insane. It's fucking insane. But anyway, we vibe, we continue. His wife then gets cooked alive because he wasn't able to do the trap that he said he was in to save his wife, because his chest muscles fucking ripped and he fell to the floor. And then he was allowed to go free. It was just him and he regrets all of his decisions because obviously he's lost all the people closest to him. His wife, which he lied to, so his wife died, like, really upset with him because obviously, like, he lied to her their entire time together because he said that he was in a saw trap when he never was, and, like, he took advantage of her and that. And, like, the other, like, people involved knew that he wasn't, like, involved, and, like, they were described to be like the three wise monkeys: hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil. And I quite liked that. It had a little bit of plot to it, like a little bit of a, oh, so these are your, like, three lackeys which are helping you, like, make this story, and they're willing to cooperate, and they're all, like, doing something bad by, like, not listening to evil, not speaking no evil, and, like, not seeing it and just continuing about with what they're doing to, like, make sure that his story gets out there and it's the best it can possibly be. I like that. The saw traps were pretty gruesome, pretty disgusting. I especially hate the one where they got impaled through the fucking eyes. I thought that one was vile. Ever since Final Destination 4 or 5, I have hated shit in my eyes. That is fucking wild. And yeah, I really did not enjoy that one. That one made me scream and squirm. The side story with the police officers wasn't what I was truly interested in. Again, it just left with all the police officers dead, and even Jill dead at that point. Like, they all died, they all were killed, and it kind of left for, like, an unsatisfying conclusion because no one really got out of this alive, or, like, no one really got out of this. It was, like, genuinely just like a murder fest. Everybody was killed and died, and there was, like, a mystery left where the doctor from the first movie was actually working for Jigsaw, and I was like, okay, that's pretty cool. I like that. That's a nice little plot thing. But other than that, there wasn't really anything going for the end of the movie. Like, Jigsaw has his own little cult, but we don't really get to follow that because this is the last movie in the franchise, which is actually titled Saw. The other one's called, like, Spiral, and then the other one's called Jigsaw, and it just feels like, I don't know, they introduced, like, a really interesting cult following at the end, which I thought could have been really fun and really interesting and something that would have been worth exploring, but they just never did. And it feels quite flat, like it just fell straight on his face, like nothing really came from it, and it was just a little underwhelming. I would have liked a little more from that plot point, but oh well. We got a little bit of a tease of it at the start of the movie, and then it came back around at the end by the time, which I genuinely forgot about that at the start because there was, like, he was literally just not important. He was just the doctor getting out of the trap. Hear that? It's a yawn. That's how boring this movie was. Because again, it was literally just Saw 6, but done again. And I enjoyed Saw 6. I gave Saw 6 quite a few praise because of the turmoil and, like, the traps and the, like, issues that it brought. But this guy, he didn't give a fuck. He genuinely didn't give a fuck about any of the other people. He was blaming them for their death. Like, when it was him who was, like, doing it all. It's like, dog, if you just didn't lie. Dog, if you just didn't say you were here when you wasn't. All you had to do was, like, not lie. And, again, blaming them for shit that they cannot help because they're tied down and trapped, they're scared, they're panicked, isn't fair. It's not fair to blame them. And again, you wasn't really doing it with much care. You, like, proper ragging that shit out of her throat. Like, that's the one which I'm really annoyed about because, like, he wasn't doing that slowly. Like, he wasn't doing it with care. Like, I would have tried my best to do it as slow as possible. And try and, like, not catch it on the throat. But within the first 2 fucking minutes, he yanked it up, caught it on the throat, and then had to, like, drag it up the throat, like, cutting all of her throat as it went up. Which is fucking wild and awful to me. Why he decided to try and just quickly pull it up in the first place. That is not something that you do in that situation. You need a delicate hand and a slow, steady hand for that. I might not have a slow, steady hand, but, like, I would have tried my fucking best to do it without getting it caught on her throat. Because once you get it caught, you're fucked. You're fucked. The other traps were, you know, I felt very fucking wild because, again, like, he had to walk across beams blind, and again, they were putting a lot of trust in this dude. All the people were putting trust in him because he had to lift bars to, like, stop the timer, or, like, he had to pull the like thing out of the neck, and he had to, you know, throw the key and guide them. So all these people were putting a lot of trust in this guy, for him to then blame them when it went wrong. Honestly, dickhead, I hated him. He was not a character I could get behind. He was not a character I could care about, and he didn't have any compassion for any of his like co-workers or friends. The only one he really cared about was his wife, and even then, you can't really say he cared about her because he lied to her for like so many years about like being in this saw trap, a very traumatic experience, which he goes around on tour promoting, and she's been there supporting him, giving him loads of emotional support, trying to understand him the best she can with like the issues that he has and like how he's struggling to talk about it. And all that has been a lie, all that's been for nothing. You've given so much up for this man for it to just be a lie. And that's gonna be like really like disheartening, gonna put like a lot of trust issues in you and a lot of like upset, and like rightly so. Like, I don't blame her at all for being upset with him and for like worrying about this situation, because you know, you think he's been in it before and he survived it before, so we can do it again. Nah, love, he hadn't fucking done it before. He just made it up on the fucking spot, so you're fucked. And there was no real like you know, care for the characters. Like, I genuinely couldn't get behind these characters, so I had no interest in like seeing if they were like rooting for them and seeing if they would survive. But yeah, other than that, I don't really got anything else to say, so I hope you all did enjoy this YouTube video. I think this is like, yeah, I think it's a good movie, but I don't think it's as good as the one we've just like seen with Saw 6. So I am going to give it a solid like 6 out of 10, because I feel like it's just above mid. So other than that, I hope you all enjoyed this YouTube video. See you all next one. Hope you all have an excellent day, and goodbye. Stay home and stay safe. If you do want me to review any other movies, let me know down in the comments below, and I'll get on as quickly as possible.